This is Kevin, Gamertag Magil, and I'm bringing you part 26 of my Stuntman Ignition Let's Play. And I'm on the next to last scene in the Night Avenger movie. This one takes me a while to get done because it's probably the toughest scene in the whole game. Some of the other ones are a little tougher in certain aspects, but this one is a lot longer, or feels a lot longer than the other ones. The Taurus Award sequence is really tough, and you'll see, I'm pretty sure I mess up several times at that part, which is rough because it's a good portion of the way through the scene as well. And it's really aggravating to mess up there, and there's lots of different ways to mess up those sequences, or that sequence. So it's kind of rough when it's not going well. As you can see here, I'm already having trouble at the beginning. That's just timing stuff, and every once in a while that just happens no matter what. But just kind of roll with it. And this, somewhere in here, one of the failed ones is like the most frustrating thing ever, and I'll talk about more when we get to that one. But as tough as this one is, pretty much all of the Night Avenger scenes are fun to do just because you're basically driving the Batman car. And there's just a lot of cool stuff that you're doing, even more so than a lot of the other scenes or the other movies. Even though they all have cool stuff, there's just something about being in the Batman car, and you know, there's so much more helicopters and shit shooting at me. See, here's the Taurus Award sequence, and I think several times that helicopter will mess me up, and it's really easy to get that helicopter in front of you on the track, so it's slowing you down and stops you from getting there on time. And that one was really bad because I really had the timing down right, like I had the turn. So there's lots of things like in that part. So getting the turn right, so you sideswipe the helicopters and are on the line right, and it's just really easy to knock that helicopter in front of you to slow you down. And there's just a lot of ways to mess up that little sequence there, and it's really tough to get right, but it's one of those that's super important, and really the focal point of the whole scene is to make sure you're doing that one right. So we'll see a lot of the same stuff in this one because I start getting a lot farther every time before I mess up. But hopefully it'll still be pretty enjoyable to watch as it gets a little bit smoother and better every run through. So we're just going to talk about some other stuff. Oh, see there, the helicopter messes me up in a different way, I think. Didn't quite make it in time. But as I said, I live in northern Michigan, so maybe I've said it before, but the other day we got like 14 inches of snow overnight. And it's one of the things that kind of, well, you know, getting the snow sucks, but living in northern Michigan, the thing that sucks more is that they can deal with that, and they're kind of ready to deal with when 14 inches of snow comes down overnight. They can deal with it. So when I woke up, like I had to go to work in the morning, and I woke up at 8 because I knew there was going to be snow to shovel, and you know, I didn't expect it to be 14 inches. But I get up and the roads are already plowed, and as long as you live in town, it's perfectly easy, well, not perfectly easy, but it's fairly easy to get into work. And just when I'm there and I see all the other people, I'm like, you know, if we lived anywhere else after 14 inches of snow dropped overnight, pretty much they'd just be like, you know what, fuck it, everything's closed, we can't do anything. And there just wouldn't be anything going on because it's too much snow for normal, you know, most cities don't plan for that kind of shit to happen overnight and just get dropped on them. But when you live where I live, which is northern Michigan, right next to Lake Michigan, so you get lots of lake effect snow, they're ready for when a bunch of snow just gets dropped on you. So, you know, you just have all these huge banks along all the roads now. Thankfully somebody came and plowed my driveway, so the banks on the side of my driveway are like 3 times higher than they were before, and usually it's not that bad because we get a lot of snow all the time and we don't just get dumped on all at once, but it was pretty rough when that happened. And it's just really frustrating when you gotta deal with all that snow. And to relay back to Stuntman, I hate driving in the snow. Like, it's not too bad because I'm used to it, but I always have cars and they suck in the snow, and it is awful. Oh, brutal. But yeah, and the worst part is you always get all these people behind you. A lot of people have trucks or like SUVs, especially in northern Michigan, is that they'll get behind you and they're always riding your, you know, tailgates because they're in a truck and snow and bad weather isn't a problem for them like it is for you, and they seem completely unaware of why you're not driving really fast in your, or not really fast, but why you're not driving faster in your car. It's like, because my car can't do shit on the ice. And it's just frustrating. Plus, if it's at night, all those, with my car, it's about perfect height so that all the bigger car's headlights shine right into my back window and blind me the whole time. So it's pretty fun having a car here in winter. But so enough about my woes of snow and my crappy car. Go back into the talking about the game. So you see, I've been having some. They've been getting better, is where they're sticking, or I'm stringing everything together up until I get to the Taurus Award part where I mess up, of course. And as you've seen, I've messed up like what, a lot of different ways there. The timing thing is getting there before the train, which is the toughest. And here I keep turning too far. There I could have just sat there and let that train slam right and T-bone me, but I decided not to do that and just quit for myself. But the thing about that, like I'm talking about, is it's super frustrating when you're not working, but once you finally get it done, you just have that huge sense of accomplishment that makes everything feel better. And when I was filming this one, especially this scene, when I was doing it, this is the one where I'm glad I do live commentaries, because all of a sudden it just evolved into me swearing the whole time, really loudly, and just been really aggravating for people to listen to. Which if I had been recording live commentary when I did it, I probably would have just edited it out and recorded something less vulgar and offensive over it. But we don't have to worry about that, thankfully. So just keep doing this one until you get it right, and as you can see, it's getting better and better. Here I think is, yep, this is where I finally get it for the first time. As you can see, I've got everything all strung together. I believe this is my super frustrating run. So I'm still going perfect, and I'm into this section, doing everything right, and still keeping the string alive. And I'm going to mess up on this next turn somehow. Oh no, but I just get oh, here, I catch that globe, and I run out of time to get there ahead of time, and I kill my car, and I was so frustrated over that one because I was just about to string that whole thing together. As you'll see later, I'm really close to the end of the run too, so I knew I failed so close to the end, and I was just like, fuck you, game. And especially since that one just instantly failed it, like it's not even like it was a giant statue that fell in front of me, but I'm like, I'm in a tank. It should be able to drive either right through it or right over it. Ooh, there, you can tell I'm getting frustrated because I make that little mistake and I'm like, fuck this, restart. It's all going perfectly this time. I know it is. But we're getting closer to when I actually do it right. I think it might actually be this next run. I was about to say it's this one, but clearly it is not. But I'm pretty sure this is the one. I should be fairly quick about getting up the next and last part of this. I think I'll only do like one other commentary for Gotham City Imposters before I throw that up. And finally bring closure to this Let's Play, which isn't that many parts, but there are some times when I just let way too much time go in between them, which I'm sorry about, but hopefully it's been entertaining. And will continue to be entertaining until it's done. I guess I should wait for all that to the next one when it actually is done. But the next one's awesome, so we'll get to see the Night Avenger trailer, and that one it's pretty rad. I mean, it's almost as awesome as seeing like trailers for real movies. It's kind of worse because you know you won't be able to see the movie, and the trailer makes it sound pretty awesome, even better than the other ones. A lot of the other trailers, which are pretty good, but I don't think any of them are quite as awesome as the Night Avenger one. And it does the cool thing where it's got all the big names for actors and stuff, so it makes it seem even more epic. Oh man. There I just killed... Oh, nope, I still kept... I thought I was going to lose the streak there when I decided to go chase after that car instead of just doing what I'm doing. How do I ruin this? So I'm pretty sure I don't 5-star this one. Pretty sure I'd remember if I did that well. But here I'm coming at the end, and this scene leads directly into the next one. So here I'm like going in there, right at the fucking end. So I'm going into like Big Top's headquarters base to go get him, and the next one starts off in there, into this place, and it's it's a little bit shorter and just awesome. God, this one's so frustrating watching again. It's just that like half second where I didn't get somewhere in time and I lost the string. I was so close to 5 stars. Have to settle for hopefully 4. Yep. So it was a little rough going, but I did pull off a fairly good score at the end, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'll bring the last one soon.